Storm DJs Podcast.
Welcome to the Storm DJs podcast series, where we interview the best DJs and musicians. We find out all about them through a series of very fun questions, to say the least. And after the question and answer session, the DJ or musician puts together a live mix or a live performance for us to wow us with their skills, basically. So have a listen to the interview and then have a listen to the mix or performance following the interview. This episode we have the downright dazzling Dozzer from Wales, who's joining us via Skype this week, which is basically a bit of an experiment because all our previous interviews so far have been in person. So it's a bit of a experiment essentially to try and find out if this format works. What we found out so far is it seems to work okay. However, we have a few issues with the sound quality levels at the other end. So apologies in advance for the sound quality, but in theory you'll be able to understand what Dozzer's saying, even though it's slightly Welsh tinted. Also, the setting of the podcast unfortunately isn't quite as glam because, as you know, it's not in person, therefore it's basically fixed direct on his face permanently, and that's it. So not much in terms of fun on the camera angles, but you will see myself in the bottom right hand corner miniaturized as I interview him. Also, apologies for my current voice, which is somewhat lacking due to the great amount of cold that I've got at the moment. I can only apologise for this and the amount of germs in the air and so forth. Maybe I haven't been eating enough garlic, I'm not quite sure. Sit back, relax and enjoy the interview, and then have a little boogie to the mix and enjoy. Dozzer, welcome to our Storm interviews, the Storm podcast series. This is going to be our first one via Skype, so it's a work in progress, but I'm sure it will go down perfectly. And obviously we have to do Skype with you because, you're so far away. You're basically in another country. All this foreign DJing you're doing all the time. What can we say? So, how's everything going over there?
Yeah, really good, really good, really busy, and now the summer coming up, lots of gigs coming through, so yeah, we look forward to it.
Excellent. Okay, well, we'll go through the sort of standard question list, from the very basics to very very complicated stuff, but I'm sure you're prepared. Yeah. So, can you tell us about your current stage name and sort of how it came about to be?
Yeah, well, my current stage name is Dozzer. It's always been Dozzer. Really boring. From a young age, as far as I can remember, I was being called Doz or Dozzer around the schoolyard, in football. And now my mum calls me Dozzer. My children are starting to be called Mini Dozzers. So it's just a natural progression. I don't think most people don't even know my first name, to be honest, and know the Dozzer as everybody. So it's just a natural fit to put into the DJ name as well.
Do you remember the first person to have given you that name?
I think it was a football coach. I think it was more around calling me Dozy Dozzer because I didn't really listen or pay much attention and fell over football. So Dozy Dozzer came in, and then just Dozzer and Doz from there on, really. And
is that a sort of reason why the football career didn't take off, because of the doziness?
And the poor ability, probably, as well. Can't be that. Inability to play football properly, and the doziness, probably.
Excellent. So, basically, as a DJ, you're Dozzer. How would you describe your sort of unique style, if there is one? I know when we first had you on board, we were sort of marketing you as the four-deck wizard from Wales, and sort of with the ability to wow the crowds with a lot of energetic music. So how would you describe your genre?
No pressure there, then. The general style is dance music and everything in between, sort of between house, EDM, techno, trance, what I do like to do is put my own spin on tracks by making sort of bootlegs, mashups of a commercial or an old track with a bit more of a bass line on the background just to keep it current. I like to play any songs basically, but along a certain BPM between sort of 124 to 130. High energy, I think big room could also be called to describe it. But generally, anything dance and in between the genres, I'll play and I'll listen to. And when I'm in the car, I'll listen to dance at all times. So yeah, I like to keep things fresh, keep things new while putting on. I think I find while working for Storm, a lot of the gigs maybe a bit more commercial as well, so I have a commercial spin on it, on a dance track, like say an a cappella on top. And that's where the 4-deck thing came from, and that's what I enjoy doing. I always try to play a track that I would like to listen to. As long as I can keep to that, it seems to be working out pretty well.
Yeah, no, it all makes sense. And what's your sort of stance on being given a gig which is classified as open format, i.e. you can be demanded to play about 10 different styles in one evening? Are you open to that sort of request?
Yeah, very much so. It's probably a lot more challenging than playing, say, a deep house night or an EDM house or any house music, where open format, you will get people who will like certain styles and not like the other style. You have to try and keep them out all together and keep the dance floor busy. And at the same time, it lets you play tracks that you don't necessarily play. You know, I play a Bob Marley track, a Lionel Richie track, a Stevie Wonder track that may not necessarily fit into a house set, but an open format lets you to run free with that. Obviously, you get the Uptown Funk request 10 times a night, which is the normal style in open format. But yeah, you know, it's something different, and it keeps me on track, keeps me on top of the tracks, and you know, old tracks, new tracks, and keeps you current at the same time.
Yeah.
I think if you focus around one route of house or dance, you're limited the options of the gigs you can do. So, but being open format makes you available for a lot more gigs and meeting a lot more interesting people as well.
Very true. Very true. What would you how would you describe your current ideal equipment setup in terms of your technology and so forth that you use on a regular basis?
Yeah, I had a long thought about this question. I've gone from vinyl decks, CDJs, to a console, USBs, CDs, Serato, Tractor. I think it's a bit of a boring and sad answer, but mine is my laptop, just because of the amount of music I got access to now, as opposed to a CD where you've got 20 tracks on, a USB, which I find difficult to maneuver through. When you have a laptop, you have thousands of different tracks, and you're scrolling through it, you think, oh, I remember that song, it's a great track. I haven't played that for months, I haven't played that for years. So yeah, I think the laptop obviously makes it a bit easier as well when you've got BPMs and keys to make the set a bit more of a journey. But definitely the fact that you can find any track at any point makes it a lot easier, and I enjoy it like that. So definitely the laptop. Not like I say, a bit of a boring answer, but what I found.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But alongside the laptop, I assume you'd prefer to be using some sort of controller mechanism to control what's in the laptop, rather than having to use a mouse and a keyboard. Yeah.
I go between a console through Serato or through CDJs via Serato. I do enjoy the CDJs a lot better than a console. Don't ask me why, it's just I have a better feel for having two CDJs and a mixer. When I'm DJing through them, I don't really use the laptop particularly, rather than just select a song. With a console, I don't feel I have as much control over the set as when I'm going through it. Don't know why, just the way I feel. I got the deck set up in the house here. I take the decks out with me most of the places, and I take the controller with me at the same time. But always go for the decks every time. CDJs of something. I bought them when I really got into going out and playing gigs, and it's something I've always kept with. Yeah. I've actually marked 2 old ones, but they still do a great job, and I love using them.
And you mentioned sort of starting out a vinyl way. Have you still got any old vinyl in your collection, or have you offloaded it all? Or?
I've got all the vinyl, but none of the turntables, unfortunately. I lost the battle with the missus and what we could keep when we moved house.
They take up a lot of room.
Yeah, I've got all the white labels from my uni days, every time I got a student loan. I think it just gone on the internet, it was hard to find records, and you could you could find tracks on there, about £12-15 for one white label vinyl, and then you'd play it to death on there. But yeah, I still got them going around. I did do a bit of a project a couple of years back where I could convert all my old vinyl onto USB, so I had those songs, and some of them you can't find anywhere these days.
No. Yeah, no, I think from my perspective as well, there's like a huge number of crates of vinyl that are just sort of sitting in storage, but whether they'll come out again, I don't know. There's sort of
No.
a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So basically, that's about your sort of current setup and so forth. Going back to the sort of element of vinyl again, it might be related to my vinyl, it might not, but can you remember your first ever musical purchase, and what format was it? Was it vinyl or was it something completely obscure?
No, it was CDs, and I bought 2 albums, and they couldn't be further apart. The first one was The Prodigy, Fat of the Land. When I was really getting into dance, for some unknown reason, the second one was the Lion King soundtrack. Purchased in the same store at the same time, with Christmas vouchers, I believe. So I had the Prodigy and the Lion King playing back to back in my bedroom as a first music purchase.
Have you ever considered some sort of mashup with those two?
I've done a Lion King mashup for my daughter's cheerleading.
Oh, right, wow.
We've done something like that. It was a bit bass heavy, but yeah, it sort of worked, I think, in the end.
You need to get that out on Soundcloud to let the public judge it.
If the privileges allow me, with Soundcloud taking most stuff down, we'll see if we can get it on there.
It's very true, very true. So that was the first purchase. In terms of your sort of current day-to-day life, is it all about 100% DJing, or do you have a day job as well, which you sort of use to fund the family life and the rest of it?
Yeah, I do have a 9 till 5 job. I work for the local authority in the rent arrears team, and the manager of the rent department of the housing association. And in the current climate, we're very busy. But what it does do, it allows me the flexibility to work away quite a lot through Storm. If I can, if I had a gig today, I could leave work straight away and go to a gig in London or anywhere around the country at a drop of a hat. That's the flexibility it allows me. Yeah. So it works really well with my relationship with Storm, as in I can be on hand to do a gig at any point, any time, which works well for everyone, really.
Excellent. Tell us about your first ever gig, if you can remember it. Most of us can. But yeah, have you got a sort of story to tell us about that, whenever it may be?
Like most people on these interviews. It was called the Cotton Club in Newport, South Wales. It was 3 floors. Top floor was R&B, bottom floor was drum and bass, and I was the middle floor and just told to have a free reign. I remember the CDJ's cue buttons didn't work. I tried to play sort of electro house and the early days of EDM, the types of Dead Mouse, the Swedish House Mafia were just kicking off.
Yeah.
And every time I played a track that people didn't know, so when I thought I was breaking a track, the manager would grab me literally around the collar and say, play something people know or you're off. So I spent the rest of the night trying to find mashups, bootlegs, any sort of commercial song I had to keep him happy. And I think I got paid about £45 for about an 8-hour set on a bank holiday Sunday.
Wow.
Into 6 o'clock in the morning finish. I remember walking home and it was light thinking, God, this DJ's lark's not all it's meant to be, is it?
That's less than minimum wage, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah. It was invited back a couple of times, but it just never worked out. I like to think I was a bit of a trail setter for bringing in EDM, because it's all played around the city now, but at the time I wasn't.
The unsung pioneer.
Yeah.
We've got a few sort of random questions which you'll have seen from our other DJ podcast interviews, so I'm sure you're vaguely prepared for them, but the first one is on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most outlandishly weird, how weird are you?
I would say 7 or 8, but people may say lower because I'm quite a person, but I like to be on my own quite a lot because I'm a DJ and I have 3 kids and I'm a manager. It's a strange thing to say, but I'm quite happy to lock myself in a room, listen to music, or lock myself in an office and do my work all on my own. And I have more confidence in myself than other people. So I'm going to say quite high, but other people may say that's not such a weird thing. But I'd say 7 or 8.
Yeah. Well, that's a good sort of standard average for a DJ, I think. Cause, I don't think we've had any of our DJs say they're below a 6. I don't think so.
not with the hours and the type of work we do. It doesn't fit in with it.
No, exactly. What is your spiritual practice?
Running.
Okay.
Headphones on and just running. I can run for hours. Headphones on, clear my mind.
Yeah.
Especially if I've got. I may load the phone up with a load of new tracks and just go running with them in my head and what I like, what I don't like, and that gets me ready for the day or gets me ready for the week. Even when I've done gigs away, the first thing I'll do is when I get into the hotel room is drop the bags and go for a jog and just get ready, find out where I'm going to the night, what this place is like, what the setup's going to be like, what I'm going to play. I'm clear then after I've had a good run. Yeah.
So is jogging / running a sort of daily thing for you?
Yeah, I run every day, 3 or 4 miles a day. Don't particularly enjoy getting ready to go for the run. That's always, should I go to the pub instead or shall I eat some chocolate? But yeah, I get myself out every day, 3 or 4 miles, and I say, clears my head of what I need to do for the rest of the day.
Excellent, very, very, very healthy sounding, that's for sure.
I come back and drink a couple of lagers after the run, so that's not completely healthy.
Okay, and am I right in thinking you did some sort of workout mixes of late?
Yeah, I've been doing quite a lot of DJing at gyms and at people's PT sessions.
Okay.
So, a bit more energy into the gyms because they generally have generic mixed playlist playing. Yeah. So I turn up, set my gear up, play for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Some of my more ministry sound / running type tracks, a bit more pumpier, and get people going for a couple of hours. And say it gets a good atmosphere in the gym. I get to trial different tracks that I may not necessarily play all the time. And meet different people. It's good fun.
Excellent.
I think there's a bit of a kick on the fitness thing at the moment. I know years ago there was a big thing into gyms and PT sessions, and it's kicking off again at the moment.
Have you tried to sort of bargain in a running machine behind the decks so that you can do your running and DJ at the same time?
Oh, that sounds a great plan, yes.
You should definitely ask them. It would be quite entertaining, I'm sure.
Dead Max has got his head, Daft Punk has got their mask, I can have a running machine. That could be a niche subject.
Okay, well that's all good. I think some of your mixes are on Soundcloud as well, aren't they?
They all go up on Soundcloud. I record a lot of the sets I do now live from straight to Soundcloud, and repost them as much as possible. I know Storm do a great job in promoting those as well. Yeah. So they're on there and free to download.
What would you do in the event of a zombie apocalypse?
I've actually thought about this in depth. I would let the zombies eat me, as I've got nothing to offer when we need to rebuild society. I have no skills. So yeah, it's best if I'm not around. They can eat me and someone else can help rebuild society when it's over. So, bit of a dark answer, but I'm happy with
that. Okay, name something that you're really not very good at.
In line with that, DIY.
DIY, okay.
My house is falling apart because I can't change a light bulb, I can't do anything. And it's more embarrassing when my dad is a director of housing for a building firm. I went to mow the lawn yesterday and the lawnmower broke, so that's half done now. Kids' bedrooms haven't been painted. I can't do any of it. Not a thing. I don't attempt to either.
It's all right. You've got your strength in the music, so that's all you need, really, isn't it?
I don't help build houses or repair walls and such.
Okay, tell me something that's true that almost nobody agrees with you on.
I would say that dance music is proper music, because everybody I speak to in work or my parents say that's not real music, it's just noise or it's just boom, boom, boom. Especially my father, who doesn't understand it at all. I say colleagues in work who listen to my mixes maybe on Soundcloud and say that's not really music, that's noise. I would say if you take the time to listen to the tracks and listen to the mixes, some of the production on it is amazing, and it is real music and good music.
Yeah, it's always a hard one to argue with certain people, but you know, it's I suppose it's very subjective at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, tell us about your ideal sandwich.
Piri-piri chicken and cheese, and that's it. No salad, nothing healthy in there. Just some meat and some cheese, and I'm happy.
And the bread?
A baguette.
Okay, yeah. Excellent.
One baguette, yeah, nice and simple.
Chicken, cheese, piri-piri sauce.
Yeah.
No other condiments, no other like lettuce. Or...
No, nothing healthy at all.
Okay. Very sleek. I like it. So, tying back vaguely to the zombie apocalypse, what would your last track be if you were playing End of the World Party? So just before the Earth exploded or whatever.
My answer to this is the answer to every music question. What's my favourite track? What's the last track I would play? What track would I have in my wedding? And it is always Robin S. Show Me Love. Because it's my favourite track. I must have sampled it about 1,000 times in different formats and different versions. I think I was in a nightclub in Turkey when I was about 15 when I first heard it. And just instantly fell in love with it. And I must play it at least once on every set in some type of version. I don't care what people think. I absolutely love it. And yeah, it would be that one. It had to be. There's nothing else I could think better than that.
Excellent.
Perhaps it doesn't tie in with the end of the world scenario, but
excellent. I was sort of thinking you might have gone down the lines of the when you did the Tomorrowland gig last year, and your last track before everyone boarded the Tomorrowland plane was Bob Marley, wasn't it? From what I remember.
I was a close runner-up, Bob Marley. I thought, is that too obvious? So I went with Robin S. But Bob Marley is a close second. Perhaps if one more track came on at the end before the world ended, it'd be Bob Marley.
Excellent. Well, that answers all of our interview questions. So thank you for your time on that, and we'll be getting this interview up probably in the next week or so, along with your mix. And yeah, for anyone who wants to find out more, all Dozzer's mixes are linked through our site and his page more specifically. And yeah, so thank you, Dozzer, and we shall catch up soon, no doubt.
Yeah, thank you.
Storm DJs Podcast.